Hello, my gorgeous people. Grace here, Bicodonia, and I want to show you around my new domain. Now, this is a ghost story. As you may or may not know, ghosts are serious business here in Thailand, as are ghouls or spirits of various kinds. According to local beliefs, you are never really alone in Thailand. Even here, and indeed especially here in the isolated mountains, we are always surrounded by spirits and ghosts. Up on the remote mountaintop of Doi Mong, you will see an example of one of these spirit houses. Tiny and ornate and painted in white and gold, it is there to house and appease the spirits who live in this special place. But what has all this about the spirits and the ghosts got to do with the new roof over my head? I'll tell you, this is my new workshop and mothership, and I got it because of the ghosts. So once upon a time there was an old abandoned house here, with the concrete foundations and beautiful old teak upstairs. But it had been abandoned for a long, long time. Walking up the rotted, abandoned stairs was an act of faith. And once up there, the living area was divided into 4 small, dark rooms. The place had long since been given over to the insects, to the ants, to the geckos, and to the wild cats. At least that's how I saw it. The villagers had a different perspective. They saw it as given over to the ghosts. The abandoned house stood lonely on the land of my friend, and the people in the village explained to him that they wanted him to do something with it. They wanted him to knock it down and take the building away, because an abandoned house was simply asking for trouble. Sooner or later, the ghosts would move in. Of course, when I heard about this, I had a different idea. The first thing I imagined when I looked at this old, decrepit house was filling it with motorcycles and light, and basically all the essential ingredients of happiness. We can't knock it down, I said. It's beautiful. It has good bones. We have to renovate. And so that's what we did. We took out all the internal walls and created downstairs this beautiful workshop space, and upstairs a wide open area which is now in the process of becoming the High Vault Moto Tours office. Yes, this is where I sit at my very small desk and I churn out all of those tour itineraries. And when I get tired, in true Thai style, I just lie down and take a nap. As you can see, we are yet to get around to the furnishing stage, but at this time I have everything that is necessary. I have motorcycles, tools, cold beer, good friends, and opportunities. Now, it's raining in Thailand today. It is the rainy season. It's always kind of rainy at this time of year. From May through to, say, October, it can be fairly wet. But this is a pretty big weather system. Usually it just storms in the afternoon, but at the moment we are looking down the barrel of 10 days of solid rain. Chiang Mai is already flooded. But it's all good because we have plenty of maintenance and other work to do. Here's Pilar putting the new handguards on the EC300. The KLX has just gotten a full service and a new bill of health, and the 2-strokes need their radiators flushing as well. There are a bunch of other items on the list, but we'll get to that all in due course. Like I say, it's going to be raining for some time. But of course, after the rain comes the sunshine. We will be back to perfection very soon. But I promised you stories of ghosts and spirits, so let's go to my dear friend David Blyler in Sakon, which is in Isan, northeastern Thailand. Come for a ride with me while I tell you a story. Now, I'm sure David and his neighbors can relate to what my neighbors were worried about, which is having a ghost problem here, because apparently, in David's neck of the woods, they did indeed have a ghoul problem. That's right, ghouls. So, not quite ghosts, but more the kind of malevolent spirit that possesses you. Apparently, they get inside your body while you're still alive, and they can eat you from the inside out, usually starting with the liver, which is somehow considered especially tasty. Anyway, I am indebted to David's research here, and he writes about how a particular village in the Sakon area became known as the Ghoul village, or the zombie village, after one particular man who'd been accused of being a ghoul moved to the village to find sanctuary, and then after that, many other people who'd been similarly identified as being possessed by ghouls moved to the village to be together. Now, as David points out, calling someone a ghoul was a quite common and effective way of exercising power and ostracizing your neighbor. Basically, you didn't want to piss off someone powerful and have them identify you as the undead. Obviously, catastrophic for your life. Now, the zombie village problem was eventually resolved by the building of a holy well in the village. All of the inhabitants were apparently cured of their ghouls and returned to happy and peaceful lives. To this day, you can go and visit the holy well should you feel a ghoul coming on. As David very helpfully notes, the Holy Well is on Google Maps, known as the Ban Na Sao Nan Community Primary Healthcare Centre. So just plug that in your GPS and away you go. Now, I love visiting Isan. It's the northeastern section of Thailand, and the people and the food and the local language are all a bit different from the other parts of Thailand. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to explore, especially on a motorcycle. David lives in a town there called Sakon, and so if you ever go that way, you should check out his website, which is called My Sakon, because David has collected a wonderful selection of all of the interesting, unusual, and beautiful spots around this town that you might like to go and see. I was myself indebted to David for directions to the ruins of an ancient Khmer-era temple on top of a mountain, which was a very special place, although I am fortunate enough not to have had to ask directions to the Holy Well yet. Still, at least I know where it is. Alright everybody, stay safe, enjoy your life, have fun, and stay away from the ghouls.